Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Juan Jose Peláez and I am the International Specialist for Americas. I want to give you a welcome to this magic world of flowers and thanks for being with us today. Hope you enjoy our next artist. You can see all her beautiful designs on her bag. So that's why I'm here to introduce Angélica Cubillo from Chile. Thank you, Jose. How are you? Hey, Angie, begin. We're ready for you. As you see, we are going to work in these beautiful designs, flowers designs. And we are gonna make some twisting because you know I love to work with 260s. Check, we are going to begin working with this mustard flower that is one of the big ones. I'm gonna recommend you that when you are going to work with distortion, I recommend that you first expand a little bit the balloon. How? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you first how we are going to work our petals in a crystal balloon. First, I'm gonna expand. First, I inflate it big. So to dilate the balloon, I inflate and then deflate the balloon. And now check the difference. This is a simple balloon and this one is one that is dilated. This helped me because it helps to be more flexible in my work. I always recommend you to have, for example, a stick. This is like a balloon stick because this helped me to introduce my 260 more easy. And also when you are working your decorations or your designs, I always recommend you to have your hand pump, your cutter, to have all your tools at your hand. So it's because if you just leave it in the table, maybe sometimes you will lose where they are. Now, as I told you, I got this stick. It's like a balloon stick. I will introduce you inside a 260. For this petal, I will introduce like the half of my 260. I introduce the 260 inside, you see. Now I'm going to inflate my round balloon. You see? As you see, I inflated the round 12 and the 260 is deflated. Now this gives me space to inflate my 260. I take my hand pump. Then I put the 260, the neck of the 260 on the hand pump, and I'm gonna count the pumps. I'm going to inflate 7 pumps. Every time I go up is 1 pump, go down is 2 pumps. So in this one, I make 7 pumps. Now I take my 260. It doesn't matter if some airs go out of the round 12. Now I'm gonna tie my 260. I'm gonna make a knot and cut the rest. As you see, I have a round petal in here, but I'm not gonna use it this way. I'm gonna make it different. You know, I'm gonna work with the fashion mustard. And I'm doing this on the crystal because it's gonna be easy for you to watch what I'm doing. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna check in this point, and I'm gonna do this movement with my hands. I open my hand. So with my left hand, I'm gonna make the form of the petal, and with other hand, I will push inside also. This is the way, and this is the form that I want to my petal. It's not a heart. For me, it's like the petal had the form of a cross. That's how I call it. So now, the reference of the balloon of the crystal is round 12. Now check, I have this balloon. One is the normal and the other one is the one you know that I delayed. And I'm gonna work with 260 and fashion yellow. We are gonna use like 12 round and 12 to 60. First, we're gonna make 6 petals on one side and 6 more in other sides. So, to start, remember, I pull my stick on the 260 on the half of the 260, so help me to introduce it to the round 12. Because I'm going to repeat and repeat the same. I'm going to repeat all the details every time that I make one petal. I inflate the round 12. Now I'm gonna inflate the 260. Remember, now I'm gonna make 8 pumps because this is the big petal. And I tie, leave a little bit there. I'm gonna cut. It's important that with practice, you with my fingers, you put your fingers on the neck of the round 12 so the air doesn't go out. Because at the beginning, when I didn't know how to do this, it always go the air out when I was trying to inflate the 260. I always tell my students that it's really important that you practice. So the same, I tie the 260, make a knot, and then cut the excess. Now I put in the middle, I put my one hand on the middle of the balloon and then push the right and the left hand to make what I call a cross. And I don't try to change a lot the form of the petal when you already take out the air, because if not, it can explode the balloon. If you want to change the form, it's better that you give a little bit more of air to the round 12 that you are using, or the size of the round balloon that you're using. Now remember, and make it 8 pumps. As you see, it's not going to be exactly each leaf, but we are working with flowers, and the nature is like that. The petals are not defining exactly the same. It's very important to count the number of pumps, so it will be more or less the same petals. As you check, I'm giving the form with my hands. Usually I recommend that when you are learning about distortion, learn how to exercise your hands too. Because usually when you work with distortions, it affects a little bit your tendons, but you have to take care with exercise about your hands. That is your most important tool. Remember that you're going to make 6 petals with the same size of 8 pumps. See that? Sometimes you can move the neck so it helps you to take out the air. And again, you use both hands to get the shape you want. You see? It seems easy, but sometimes when you are trying to do this, you take the heart shape, and I don't want the heart shape right now. So it's important to work with both hands. That happened to me with some petals that I didn't get the shape that I want. And there's one more petal missing of this size. Don't be scared of the balloons. If something happens, you can change, but with Sempertex, you won't have that problem. She's trying to take out the air from the round. Now this is the last petal. Check. Now we are going to make 6 more petals, but a little bit smaller. Let me show you. We are repeating the same procedure. This is gonna be a smaller petal, so I'm not gonna count 8 palms, it's gonna be 6 palm. Remember, when she go up with the hand palm, it will be 1 palm, down 2 palms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, the same procedure, doesn't matter that it's a little bit smaller, this petal. And you see, I'm working in the same way. It's just that using and I'm making a small petal. And you see, it's a little bit smaller because the small one is gonna cover the space that my big petal leaves. So 5 more petals, and remember 6 palms each petal. People is asking if she can also do the same distortion in another size of balloon. And she's saying that, of course, you can do it with round 9, or even if you want in round 5. But if you do it on round 5, it's better if you work with 160 instead of a 260. And you can do it also with big balloons like round 60 or 20 inches. It depends on the size of the flower, of the petal you want. Usually all the decors, you can do it big ones or small ones, you can change the size of the balloon. as I told you, because this is a class of petals, you will see that I have to repeat all the petals. And in this kind of work, you gotta have a lot of patience, but the result is gonna be awesome. She's do the same. She connect together the 260, the both sides of the 260s. And she tied together, she tied the 260. You won't tie the round 12. Someone asked, the small petal is by 6, is made with 6 palms, and the big petals with 8 palms. Three more petals. We'll also use some twisting techniques. That is going to be the center of our big flower. People think that the space that she'll leave on the 260, that the part of the 260 that don't go inside the round 12 is for all the balloons, all the type of distortions. And she said, no, it depends on the kind of distortion that you're gonna do. Right now, I have, for this flower, for this leaf that is big, I need to have like more than a half of the 260 inside. But if you are making a really small petal or another form, you can leave more 260, less 260 inside. For example, if I'm gonna make a small hand with distortion, I just need a little bit of 260 inside. So it depends on your design, how much 260 got to be inside the round. People is asking if the 260 that is inside the round got to be the same color. And she said that not necessary, but the idea is that the color of the 260 is more or less like the one you're using outside. So that's why, for example, I'm using yellow and outside is mustard. Usually I don't use dark color because then it will change a little bit the color of the balloon that is outside. I'm going to inflate and deflate these balloons just to delay it. Remember that we are working to six pumps this flower to make the small leaf. I love to work with this hand pump because this one, when you go up, it also expels air, and also when you go down, it also expels air. Just one more, and we are going to begin to assemble our flower. When you are working with distortion, you can give any shape you want. Sometimes people ask us if these balloons are already got this shape. This is like the magic, the surprise that we can give our customers. This is our last small petal. Now I'm gonna make duplets of petals. That's all. You tie together as usual, you tie a duplet. It doesn't have to be separate. So in this flower, you don't need that all the petals are the same, are equal. Now you take the 3 duplets, wrap around the 3 at the same time, and you see now we have a duplet of 6, cluster of 6. I'm gonna repeat. First, I'm gonna make a duplet, 3 duplets, and then make a cluster of 6. Now, we put them together. Now I'm gonna work in the center of the flower and the base. To make the center of our flower, I'm going to work with reflex, with 260 reflex gold and fashion white sand. This is a flower that I'm gonna make with 260. And as you see, I'm gonna do the center of the flower. It's a nice flower. I'm gonna use 2 to 60 in reflex gold and 2 to 60 in white sand, fashion white sand. I'm gonna use my machine, but I'm gonna show you how much I leave without air of this 260. I will leave like 8 fingers without inflate. And always when I work the 260, I leave a little bit air out so it will be more flexible and you can work and nothing happen. Usually people ask me, hey, when you know that the 260 is right, that you inflated correctly. And she said, hey, it's with practice, because right now I know when the 260 is got a lot of pressure or is correct, but everything is with practice. All of this is to practice. Remember, practice. Don't just watch. Just don't watch the tutorial. You please practice. Check. I'm gonna make a bubble of 6 centimeters. This will be a bubble of 4 fingers, then one bubble of 2 fingers, and then another one of 6 fingers. Now I pass the neck through the balloon through 260, so it's safe. Now I make another bubble of 2 fingers, and then again one petal, the big ones, the one with the 6 fingers are my petals. Check. I turn it like 2 or 3 times so it will never return. As you see, I give a little bit pressure to the 260 so the air move and I can work easily with my 260. I'm gonna repeat this petal. I'm gonna make one bubble and then the petal, no, sorry, first the petal of 4 fingers, then 2 fingers, 4 fingers, and I make another petal. I got 3 petals right now. I will be pressing. Right now, we got 4 petals. I usually do this with the 260. It stretch a little bit the 260 when it's uninflated because that make it more flexible and let me work better. Now, so as you see, I need to add one more 260 to finish my petals so that I can complete my 6 petals. I just tie a 260 and wrap it around one of the petals and I continue my work. So right now, she got 4 petals, so there are 2 more missing. Four fingers, the bubble, 2 fingers, 4 fingers, and wrap it around. I will leave one bubble of 2 fingers. And now I'm going to connect on the extreme of the first petal. And then I cut. Let me tie this. Usually you have to cut the excess of balloons so you can present a clean work. Check. This is the center of my flower, Can you see that each of these bubble, I'm gonna convert this bubble on a pinch twist. That means that I will pull and move around the bubble so it converts to a pinch twist. Sorry. This can happen when you are working with twisting. I'm sorry, it happened also because of my nails. She's repeating the flower with 260. On the middle of each petal, I always leave one bubble of 2 fingers. One more petal missing. You can make also a beautiful flower of 5 petals, but I need this one for 6. Because my I got the big flowers are of 6 petals. What I usually do is that if my flower is of 8 petals, I will do the flower the 260 of 8 petals. Or if it's 6, I also do the center of with 260 of 6. It's like the way I work. Now I got my petal ready. On the bubble on the tip, what I'm doing is converting this bubble on the pinch twist. Now you see, it looks like a star. Can look also as a snowflake. I'm gonna make another flower, but right now this is gonna be different. It's gonna be with fashion white sand. I'm gonna leave right now 6 fingers without inflating this balloon. Now I'm gonna make a bubble that will be 8 fingers. That is more or less like 6 inches. So this petal will be of 6 inches. I will make 2 bubbles for each petal. And in here, I still leave 1 bubble of 2 fingers. I'm gonna repeat my petal. Remember, 15 centimeters, 6 inches. So in here, I'm gonna pass the rest of the balloon through my petal. So like this, my 260 will be okay. And again, 2 bubbles, 2 more bubbles. Just gonna size the same. 15 centimeters is 6 inches. So again, so my 260 done this arm, I'll pass through my petal. Right now I got 3 petals. I'm gonna inflate another 260 white sand for the rest of the petals. I will also leave like 4 or 6 fingers. Always I left out a little bit of air. I still leaving 1 bubble of 2 fingers between each petal. This is a beautiful flower. I had worked this flower in different colors, tropical colors. Please remember that this class, all our classes will be recorded and they will be uploaded on our platform on the button that says memories. And the good news is the showroom will be open a whole month. Before I make the structure of the flower, I cut all the extra balloon. I'm gonna put this flower, a small flower on top of the big flower. The center of the flower should, all the bubbles must be on the center. Okay, now when you see that it match every petal, what I have to do is I wrap it around. You see, I check that both petals are on the same size and then I just wrap it around. I gotta see that they match. I check that they match both the big and the small leaf, and then I turn them. Again, one more missing. I check that they match and turn. This is how it should look, your flower. Now what I'm gonna do is the big flower, I'm gonna move a little bit like the small cord, so I can pass or connect the pinch twist of the gold 260 with this part of the 260 white sand. Please be careful with your nails so it doesn't happen what just happened to me before. I'll do the same. The big flower, I'm gonna make a little bit curve and then wrap around the pinch twist. I'm gonna repeat this in all the 6 petals. As you see, they're now all connected. That's why you got to practice the whole time. And that's what also you need to leave some space. So you have to take out some air from the balloon so it will be more flexible. So it can let you make all these kind of tricks. Can you see this flower? You can also make maybe the dress of a ballerina. The center, you check how beautiful it looks. Now what I'm gonna do is the pistil of the flower. I'm gonna make the tulip twist. I inflate a little bit, just like 4 fingers. Okay, so just check at 4 fingers and tie, cut, just I turn a little bit so the air doesn't go. Now I put my finger inside, and with the other hand I will catch. And now I rotate the 260. As you see, I got a pistol the way I wanted, that it will be with a tulip top, the tulip on twist on top, and a bubble. Now, what I'm gonna do is tying here, more or less on the middle of this 260, but I won't leave the air out, because this air will help us that the tulip stay. I will leave air inside. So see, she tied on the middle, and then I cut the rest, because I'm gonna inflate a small bubble the same size, like 4 fingers that will be like 2 inches, 2.5 inches. I will tie again. I will cut. When I finish to tie the knot, I cut. I'm gonna do it again. I will do the same. Turn a little bit so the air don't go out. I will put my finger inside, because check. Because if I don't turn a little bit at the end, the whole air will go down. Now I put my finger inside. On the middle, I receive with my other hand and turn again. Now, as you see, on one balloon, I got 2 pistils. I'm gonna repeat the pistil. I'm gonna show you another technique. You can do is that you can take a little bit of a piece of 260, and you can tie it really hard and tie. If difficult for you, and then I cut the rest, the excellent, just in case it's difficult for you the first time to make as I do it before. So like this, I will have the tulip that I need. I will do the same. What I do in the middle is that I make a knot in the middle. So when I cut the other part of the 260, the air doesn't go out for my first pistil. Now I make my bubble and I tie. Let me turn a little bit so the air doesn't go back. I got another 2 pistils. And you see? Now you see what I put the pistils. So the center, let me show you how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tie on the middle of this pistil a little bit of 260, a little bit. Just then I can wrap it around or tie on the flower. Now we got the center ready. Now I'm gonna work in at the base, and it's gonna be a simple flower with 260. In this case, it's fashion white sand. It's a 6-petal flowers. Okay, these petals will be some you will make some donuts, more or less like 4 fingers. You'll see that one of the best part of these flowers that you won't need any glue. Check. It's a simple flower and medium size, not too big, not too small. 6 petals. What I'm gonna do is turn a little bit the petal. Check. Check how it looks. Now, this will be the base of our flower that will help us to give stability to the flower. I'm taking a 260, a fashion white sand, get out all the air, untie. Now, I wrap it around of this flower, arrange again the flower. When I got this, now I'm going to begin to assemble my flower. I'm gonna take the big petals. Hey, you have to be careful. You have, please don't make any friction to these flowers. I don't take the petals and move them so hard, because maybe you can make a lot of friction to them and they can broke. So you are gonna work with the 6 petal completely. Remember that we got a 260. So first we put the 260 white sand. I take the uninflated 260 and wrap it around my flower, the big flower made of the 6 petals. I wrap it, and then I got it on the center. My flower and the big petals. I'm going to arrange the petals, that you got to be careful, as I already told you. So I fix the petal in this way. So now, what's gonna happen is that the small petals, they are going to be on the spaces between the big petals. First, I will wrap it around the 260 on the middle of these small petals. Now, I'm gonna fix how to put these petals. I'm gonna fix the small petals so they go exactly between in the middle space between the big petals. It's like alternating the petals so they fix perfectly when I want where I want. Now I will put on the center this flower. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pass the 260. I'm gonna pass the 260 between the bubbles and the pinch twist. Right where her finger is, where you are gonna make the connection with the uninflated 260. Check. I'm gonna pass one turn, go down. Now turn to the other side and pass it around again to the first petals. And this is how the flower should look. We should cover the spaces between the big petals, so then when you can move each petal to make the arrangement, to arrange them. This is how a flower looks. Now I'm gonna put the pistils. And I'm gonna tie the pistil with the same neck of the flower. And we cut. Look. Beautiful, Angie. Check the back of the flower, how it should look. So, something beautiful is that at the back, she also covered with details. All the things that she wore, she covered with details. Usually, this kind of decoration, people want to see the whole details. So you have to take care of each detail. Beautiful, beautiful. cosas. Now we are gonna work right now with fashion terracotta. This flower is more distortion and got a little bit of twisting on the middle. What I'm gonna do is that the 260 that I'm gonna work inside the terracotta will be fashion orange. So what I do is that I try to match the 260s with a dark color, no, but not too dark. It's better a light color, but in this case, I choose to work with the terracotta 260 in fashion orange. Because if I work with a darker color, it will change the color of my petals. People is asking what happened if I have this structure and one petal explode or something, what should I do? The only thing that one petal broke, the only thing that you gotta do is to make another petal and tie again to the center. So it's no problem. Just in case something happened with a 260 of this center, you just gotta make the small petal that broke and connect on the bubbles or in the pinch twist. So don't worry. That's why we use a lot the pinch twist, because it helps us that if something happened, it doesn't broke the whole flower. What happened if, for example, if something happened, for example, one of the petals, small petals, broke, I just change it, make the small one and connect on the bubbles. Thanks, Angie. I will tie on the center, and it's not something difficult if you have to repair your flower. And you have to learn that too, because sometimes when you gotta make some deliveries, it can happen that one petal it broke or something. So check. I'm going to delete, expand my balloons. I always delete the balloons for work distortions. Now I'm going to introduce, remember, I'm going to work with a 260 fashion orange. I'm going to leave more of the balloon out because this petal will be a little bit smaller. Now I will inflate my round 12 terracotta, my fashion terracotta. She will inflate. Now I will inflate the 260 with my hand pump. This one I will inflate 5 bumps. Remember, one is top, going to the top, down, one up, one down. Bringing together the 260 tie. Now what I'm gonna do is that I will take the petal, the center of the petal inside. Let me show you. This one will be better with a crystal balloon. Remember, I delayed the balloon by inflating and deflating the balloon. You see, I don't let that the 260 go exactly like a circle. I just leave a little bit air and connect the center inside. And you see, she's gonna repeat now again with the fashion terracotta. Again. Now, remember 5 pumps. Put together the two parts of the 260, tie it twice, and cut the rest of the 260. And again, to the middle and go the middle inside the 260, the middle of the 260 go inside. So it looks like a palette. The petals looks like a palette. As you see, it's not completely round, but it's a nice and an easy way to make like a round petal. It's not completely round, but it looks so nice. But as you see, look how it looks, and it looks really, really beautiful in our figure. Remember, this is inflated to 5 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more petal. Can you see? It's very useful. If you use a stick to introduce the 260, it's more easy if you got one of these sticks. Sometimes I don't use it, but it's important to use it as your tool just in case. I'll put a little bit of air inside, because if you want to move the 260, you gotta inflate a little bit so you don't make too much friction to the balloon. Now we got our 5 petals that we're gonna use for this flower. Now check, I got my 5 petals of this flower. Now I'm gonna work with this reflex 260. I'm gonna play them to the middle of the 260. I will leave like 12 fingers without air. Now I'm gonna make like the part that support the flower. I'm gonna make bubbles of 2 fingers and 1 pinch twist. Again, a bubble of 3 fingers and a pinch twist. I will repeat this 3 times. And sorry, you gotta make 2 pinch twists, then the bubble of 3 fingers and 2 pinch twists. You have to make double pinch twist. And like this, you have to repeat 5 times. Bubble of 3 fingers and 2 pinch twists. And you need to make 2 pinch because this help you to support the flower. Now I'm checking bubble, pinch twist, and connect the end with the first one. And it will look like this. It's gonna be the part that support our flower. I'm gonna make another bubble of 3 fingers and 1 pinch twist, and this will be on the center of my flower. I will make another bubble of 3 and connect on the pinch twist. I will make another 260 and tie it on the pinch with the last one. I will make 1 bubble to go to the other side and wrap it around 1 pinch twist. And you see, I will go up to connect on the one that we make like the triangle. And wrap it around the pinch twist. Now I go down make the same bubble and wrap it around the pinch twist. Now I will go to the other side, connect on the pinch twist, and now I will go to the center to finish, connecting on the pinch twist. Now I'm gonna make another pinch twist, and it will look like this. And you see my flower. In every double pinch twist, I will wrap around the neck of my petal. You see, here is the neck. Remember, I'm wrapping around all my necks of my petals on the pinch twist that I just made. Can you see? I got all my 5 petals connected. But now I will make some arrangements so the flowers looks much better. I can work to make this arrangement with the round, with the petal, but also with the pinch twist. And you see, you don't need any glue, and you can make a beautiful flower. These flowers, the petals are the same, but it looks really, really nice. Let me inflate it to 60. Let me make 1 pinch twist, double pinch twist. Check, I'm making bubbles and 2 pinch twists. Again, a bubble. More or less like this bubble will be like 2 fingers, and then make 2 pinch twists. Check that I always push a little bit of air so it moves. This is another type of pistil. It's made with a bubble of 2 fingers and 2 pinch twists. This pistil is the center. This will be my center of the flower. I will leave 1 bubble a little bit longer, maybe 3 fingers, and cut the rest. Then I tie. I leave a little bit of 260 so I can wrap it around the base.
aquí no creo que puedan practicar nada.
Okay. What I do sometimes is that at the beginning of this one, I put high flow to the 260 so it lasts more longer. And this flower, I made this one yesterday. And what I do is that what I do is that to this flower, I didn't use high flow. I just make a little hole to the petals. And it looks so nice. And if I wanted to shine, I use the high shine. These are like the tricks that I usually use. I use high float with the 260 so it lasts longer. And the other one. And what I do is on this petal with a needle, I make a little hole with a needle. So this helps so the petals don't go bigger. It keeps the same. These are a really good trick. One with the 260, she used a little bit of high flow to last longer. And for the petals, she make a little hole on the neck with a needle. Now, as you see, check my structure. I want to show you what I do, what type of structure I use. Let me show you. This is a PVC. It's a flexible PVC. I usually use this PVC, but it's too rigid. And the problem is that when I want to give a little bit of curve of movement to this one, I cannot use it. And also I use aluminum rod. But I want to show you this flexible PVC that I really, really love. Check, I got 2 meters of this one. This is with what I use to make the structure. And I love it because it's light, it's not heavy, it's easy to cut. It's easy to cut and you can give it a little bit curve. And when you finish, you cut corner and make the round again, give that shape again. I think it's better than the aluminum rod. Check, this is my aluminum. And it's so flexible. but to work for me, it's a little bit hard. And yes, I know I can give the shape, but it's more difficult. So really, I recommend you this PVC. This PVC is really, this flexible PVC that I just found at a hardware store. So let me show you. Let me move the other structure so we got a little bit more space. And check this. And you see the PVC I show you was white, but the truth, what I do is that I covered with a 260. I just inflate a little piece, a little bubble of 260 and wrap it around as I'm gonna show you to cover my PVC. Check. What I'm gonna do, I just put the bubble on the neck around. You don't have to tie it because you just wrap the bubble, the 260 around, and you're gonna push, you wrap the bubble and you push the air. So as you see, it will push the air and the 260 will cover my PVC. A lot of people know this technique and it's really amazing, all the things that you can do and what you can cover. And almost at the end, you almost finished, so you cut the excess of 260, leave the earth out, and in here, right, you just tie. Check how beautiful it looks. Now, let me show you how I put inside the flower. I will take one piece of the balloon. Let me show you. I'm gonna use a piece of 260 because the one that's on the flower is too small. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. I'm gonna use another piece of 260. Check. And you see it? I'm gonna pass the 260 on the PVC and then wrap it around on the flower, on the back of the flower. Okay, let me show you the rest. Now, as you can see, I have more 260. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna use this same piece twist to tie because I'm going to wrap around my 260 and wrap it around the pinch twist. So that is perfect to tie the flower on my base. Let me show you some details with rounds. Okay, she's gonna show us more details because there are 20 minutes left. I inflate these balloons. This will be, just gonna size. I think it will be 6 inches. It's gonna size. Five inches. And I'm gonna tie from the neck more closer to the neck, not to the body of the balloon. I'm gonna do one more. Tie on the neck, and not close to the body. So as you see, this cluster is separate one from each other. Okay, this, if you're a beginner, I made this just to make a little bit of distortion. It's not like you usually do this. You see, I press so the air goes to the other side. It goes the air to the neck of our balloon. And now on the tip of the balloon, I will make like a small bubble on this side. I will make one more. And then I wrap around these two. I connect these two pinch, also these bubbles up. Pass one bubble, turn around. Now I'm not gonna make the third bubble. And I'm gonna connect this third bubble to the other two. So I wrap it around. In this way, now I have got another type of flower. I'm gonna use it to 60. It's like a cocoon, what I'm doing. I'm gonna take this 261 white sand, pass it through one of the bubbles, then I divide it and go in the middle, and I wrap it around with the neck of one of the balloons, pass through other balloon, wrap it around the bubble, and then I connect on the other part and connect again at the end. And for end to end, I will make one pinch with, wrap it around with the round 5. Now I will cut what I don't need. I cut and I pass the rest of the 260. And can you see, it's like a cocoon, it's like a different type of flower. Or my bottom flower. What I'm gonna do is I will take one reflex 260 on gold, tie it. Remember always to leave it to 60 flexible. I'm gonna wrap it around or connect in the center of the cocoon of this bottom flower, And I will make like 3 different petals. Can you see? It will be like if you are gonna make a donut and you wrap it around the bubbles. Oh, sorry. Let's make another one, as you see. As you see, because I wrap it around one pinch twist, I think I won't need to make that bubble. I think that bubble will be safe. That's why it's important to make the pinch twist and the connections. Now I will connect again to the center. Make like another donut and wrap it around the pinch twist. There will be 3 petals of this that I will do with the 260 reflex gold. Wrap it around. As you can see, these bubbles, because are from around 12, are a little bit bigger. Now I cut what I don't need. I leave the air out. I just wrap it around the bubbles. And this is the detail that I put on the top. I make 2 small leaves. Can you see it? So it will look like a bottom flower. And for the leaf, let me show you. I use 3 260s. I still work with reflex gold. This leaf is work with a spiral 260. First, but I close the spiral. So first I'm gonna make my spiral. What I'm gonna do, I will inflate it to 60, reflex gold 260. Almost to the end. And I will leave like 2 fingers without inflating. And then I will tie the extremes. Check. Now, I use this part where it connects, where I tie, and I begin making like circles. Yeah, when I'm almost going to finish, look what I do. I use my body to help me. And look, it will look like this. The back. The best part is that what I do with this is all about pressure. I don't use any glue. Now, I'm gonna inflate it to 60 and I leave 4 fingers, a tie. And I'm gonna work now the part that help me to keep the leaf. I make a bubble and pinch to it, a bubble. Now I size in here. Where my petal go? Now right there, I make a big bubble. Then I make a pinch twist. Now, oh, sorry. Maybe I wrap it too hard. To work this type of details, you got to be patient and of course to practice, okay? Now, I'm gonna put it on the middle of my petal, and I will connect one big bubble to the pinch twist. I push a little bit of air in this 260, and the piece of the 260 that live in there, I will connect it to the other side. I cut the rest and wrap it around. Now I'm gonna connect the last 260. Now I give the form, the shape, and I connect on the pinch twist. Now check my leaf. When I work this, I like to put the 260 on the each side because it helps us that our leaf can get support with the 260. Now, if you got some questions, and I want to tell you that people is sending you congratulations. They love the class. Thanks for all this knowledge that you share with us. Everybody is like, hey, I love, I'm gonna practice. I love all these flowers. I will love that my flowers looks like that. Angie, we're gonna say thanks for this space that you give to us, for all your knowledge. I think that you explained the flower so precisely and with so many details that it's gonna look easy if people practice when they watch again these videos. If you got more questions, remember that you can check again the videos. They will be recorded. Remember that I use the flexible PVC, and you can look for them at the hardware store of your countries because I love it. It's so easy to work and it's flexible. People is asking the diameter of the flexible PVC. I'm not quite sure, but she thinks it's 1.5. I'm just new using this. It's 1 centimeter of diameter. I love it because it gives my curve really easy. And it's really good because, you know, these flowers are not easy to work with, but it's perfect. All the figure that you gave us and the bottom flower, thanks for everything. Giraffe is beautiful because it works beautiful and mix perfect. It works perfect with the mustard and the terracotta and the white sand, the center of white sand. Once more, thanks, Angie, for all your knowledge. See you in the next occasion. A lot of kisses. Thanks, everybody, for being on our virtual showroom. Remember that all the videos will be recorded. So tomorrow you can find them on the memories. And there's a button on the showroom that says memories. So thanks everybody for your time. Remember that our showroom will be open for a month. Stay connected. All the videos will be recorded and the platform will be open for 1 month. Bye-bye.